Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video. So let's start with the headline. We've all seen this New York Times report confirms that we have crossed the 1 million job cut market this year alone. The narrative you will see repeated in this coverage is that AI is the leading culprit, but we need to read the fine print. I want to challenge the simplistic idea that AI is suddenly emptying offices. The truth is that AI is the new buzzword, but the root cause is very much deeper. Notice that, I've came across a graph, when I was searching for this topic. I came across a graph that presents, a spike in the layoffs. And this is an unavoidable financial reckoning of decisions made 3 years ago. We are witnessing the hangover of the pandemic hiring frenzy. In 2021, when money was virtually free, these companies bet that, the pandemic era growth would be permanent. They hired for a fantasy future. Companies like Amazon and Google doubled their headcount on the assumption that the world was moving entirely online. They built a 10-lane highway for, traffic that never materialized up until today. Then the cost of capital went up. When interest rates rose, investors immediately shifted their focus from growth at any cost to profitability at all costs. And these layoffs are a pure cost-cutting measure to rebalance the economic ratios that were fundamentally broken by the overspending. AI is simply the perfect corporate pretext for job cuts that were already financially necessary. For a CEO, for example, announcing restructuring due to AI integration sounds a lot better to a stock market than admitting we mismanaged our growth. That's pretty much clear. And the saved money isn't just going into the banks. It is being reallocated aggressively to hire specialist AI engineers and buy new NVIDIA chips. They are cutting generalists to fund, the AI arms race. They're not replacing a human with an AI. They are replacing recruiter positions with AI prompt engineers and machine learning specialists. Economists are starting to call this phenomenon the jobless boom, where corporate profits are soaring due to cost cuts and efficiency. Even as the labor market weakens, it's about productivity over people. What is the job of mid-manager, right? I have my own observation about, the mid-management flattening, right? Is about, the mid-management flattening in the AI, boom era. Because what is the job of mid-manager? Fundamentally, it is to translate grand executive vision into actionable tasks for the team. That's a coordination function. And the threat to mid-management is being, called the great flattening. Senior leaders are deliberately stripping away layers of bureaucracy. As one CEO put it, we don't want a structure that's just managers managing managers managing managers. They are cutting, the middle to look like a world's largest startup. When it's more than necessary, it becomes, a source of heaviness. The original intent of these roles was to grease the wheels, but somewhere along the way, they become the sand in the gears, right? We're talking about organizational drag. Here, we can be talking about the organizational drag, the point where coordination layers consume more energy and time than they save, and actively slowing the time to market KPIs of the team. This isn't just about salaries. It's about, the tax of unnecessary complexity levied on the delivery chain. The function of the role has inverted into, it's no longer about servicing operations. It's about protecting a status hierarchy. When the role's utility wanes, it is, its need for authority and status often spikes, and the need to be needed translates into the need to control the delivery chain. They are essentially weaponizing the process. The bureaucracy becomes, a tool to assert relevance and punish the I know it all that comes from the operations people. these layers become gatekeepers and guardians of the status quo, blocking change from the top and efficiency from the bottom. The goal subtly shifts from empowering delivery to creating indispensable dependencies on that coordination layer.